Dali did 18 paintings this size over a 22-year period, and we have several in the collection. We started with the oil paintings because we thought they're the most important things to tend to. So we did a survey of all the paintings. We decided to do an in-house restoration of the large Masterwork canvases. We did get money from the National Endowment to help us with this project. Also, generous donations from the keepers of the Masterworks, which was a group that was formed out of our giving group to the museum.
Day one, 2 paintings were brought into the makeshift studio and treated. Christopher Columbus you haven't seen the front of yet because it's been faced to the wall.
We have worked on cleaning the reverse with HEPA vacuum and conservation sponges just to remove all the grime that's been accumulated over the years from the reverse. You could sort of see where he's put heavier impasto on the painting, and sort of you can see the things that are going on the face of the painting through the reverse. So that was really interesting.
They've been cleaning the reverse, working on the stretcher, and they're also treating some mold that developed behind the painting when there was a leak in the building 8 or so years ago, the old building. The Ecumenical Council has been surface cleaned. That means we're taking off the dirt, and I think we're about 2/3 done, maybe a little less. And also as we work, we're stabilizing areas that are flaking, areas of loss, and problems that we discover as we work along.
Conservation, what is it? Conservation is the process of bringing a work of art back to its original state, or if there has been any disruption in it, any oxidation, any deterioration, to freeze that and prevent it from advancing. Now, we're looking at Ecumenical Council behind me. It's not been conserved, so we hired Rustin Levinson and her crew.
You can see here already there's no varnish or something's happened, so we want to test an area where we know there's
experts for many years in this field of painting conservation to come and study and then conserve these works.
There's losses kind of all over, yeah. There's quite a bit.
It kind of looks like there's
quite a bit's happened between day 1 and day 2. Every painting's been turned around. The Christopher Columbus is now visible with its face out. The Ecumenical Council is on a makeshift table in the middle of our makeshift studio. And Lee and Geddes, can you kind of center the crossbars on the tables? We took the nails out of the edge of the Ecumenical Council and replaced them with push pins. And now we're repairing the entire edge of the painting where there's numerous holes. We're fixing each hole and reattaching the threads that are broken in the holes. Christopher Columbus has started his cleaning.
See how I'm rolling it in my fingers?
Yeah.
And I'm rolling my hand too. Well, I'm wiggling my hand.
Yeah.
Debbie? So you see that? That's about what you're going to get.
He's had some distortions, and today they flatten them using magnets for weights. Because there's no flat surface to put the back of the painting against, so they make a flat surface with a board and use 2 magnets, one on each side, to press the boards together. This is day 3, Wednesday, the 13th of June. We've been working hard on site here. The Christopher Columbus is almost half cleaned, I think. And they've been working to flatten some of the areas of distortion, and they put some magnets in to flatten those areas further.
Yeah, let's see. Good? Hold on, I'm watching it.
Gala has, unfortunately, this long crack. It's old, but it's slowly opening up. It's opening up more than we would like it. And there are small pinhole losses throughout the crack that we will go in and fill and retouch. They're just small pinholes.
On the Ecumenical Council, we've had quite a heroic day. On the edge of the painting, where the painting had been stretched several times, there were a lot of holes.
Every time that it's been restretched, it's gotten a new little set of holes all the way around because the original holes weren't reused every time. I know that there was a lot of difficulty before stretching this canvas, and the last time it was restretched, it wasn't quite put on square.
And our hero of the day was Ivan Salikov, who actually mended the tears, reattaching all the threads and using the welding. It's called thread welding powder. Very meticulous, very slow, very careful. Right, Ivan?
Yes, right.
You mend a lot of holes over your career as a conservator, and when you see one, it almost tells you what to do to fix it. You can see, oh, this is going to go there, and this one meets this, and so it's really, it's a lot of experience that makes it go quickly and not always easily, but you would not want to try this at home. Off and work down. We're going to put the painting on a new stretcher, and when we do, we're going to pull on the edges. And there were so many holes and so much fraying that we were afraid we would pull it apart. So this really stabilizes the perimeter, and tomorrow you're going to see more stabilization from the other side. All fixed. We're just walking it up the wall. Now, let's see where they belong.
Oh, they're in there, right between the tackle.
Today is the end of day 4. The Columbus has had lots of work done.
Got it. Oh, cool.
Ah, it looks really nice.
It's finished with the cleaning, and we're clearing space to move it down and have it face up to treat the perimeter, the edges of the painting. We've had a lot of fun with Ecumenical Council. The painting is not exactly square, or it's stretched kind of as a parallelogram.
We have a variation of 1/4 of an inch throughout.
And it may have been painted as a parallelogram. We're trying to make the best of that and put the edges where we think Dali wanted them. Let's see how much play we have here at the edge. It's not bad. Still a lot of white. It has been restretched, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times. And it's probably strayed a little from its original orientation. It's been face down most of the day on the floor on some stretched polyester sheeting. So now what we're trying to do is to put it on the stretcher the way Dali would have meant it to be there. We finished strip lining a minute ago using these irons. Because you use it because it takes the heat away. The canvas takes the heat away. We put an extra strip of linen around the back of the perimeter of the painting, not behind the painting, but just on the tacking margin.
Is somebody there for my ankles?
We had one great moment where Leah, we made a makeshift scaffolding, and Leah leaned over the middle and put a patch where the tear happened in Australia.
No, it's hot enough. I just good. Thank you.
Okay, we got it.
Now we're gonna hold it like this, somebody look at the table.
Day 5. We stretched 2 paintings, well really 1.5. Ecumenical Council is now mounted on its new stretcher.
You could let it stay on the ground, Rusty, if you wanted to. Let it pivot up, pivot up, pivot up. Here, Ariel, here we go.
And the top and bottom of Christopher Columbus over here are now pinned and ready to be stretched. Today was definitely an ode to push pins. We've had push pins in and out of the stretchers to be sure we have the paintings straight and in their right orientation, and to even out the distortions on Christopher Columbus.
Usually this conservation process takes place behind closed doors, and the public never gets to see what goes on. It's a very rare occurrence.
We decided to do it in public view for a very important reason. There's a growing tendency to openness in museums. They are collections that are held in the public trust.
They haven't been cleaned since the 70s,
Right.
when they were back, before they even came to St. Petersburg.
Right.
Things age, so you have to maintain them. There's nothing that's going to last forever. And it's amazing how they let people work on them. And I can imagine like what they're going through in their mind, knowing that they're working on some of the best artists' work.
Art could be kept completely conserved forever simply by putting it into a lightless vault with an argon interior. But we decided that that's not what we want to do with these paintings. We want to share them, and to share them, we have to conserve them to make sure that they're ready and vital for the next generation as well.
Okay, today is the end of day 6, the very last hour.
Do that one, you think? Somebody, is it gonna work?
We're almost done. I think downstairs some of you have seen the jigsaw puzzle of Christopher Columbus. You can see here that the back of Christopher Columbus is also a jigsaw puzzle as they try and fit in pieces of cardboard that adjust to the unique stretcher on the back of the painting. This painting has been restretched on the top and the bottom, and the distortions are gone. There's been some retouching around the perimeter and of different losses. Now Monday, it's going to turn around and go back up. Over here, we have Ecumenical Council. Much more straightforward to put backing boards on this. Today we finished stretching, put the nails in. Maybe here. Where's the bottom? Just we did a little more retouching. It's just a mess. I think there's too much fabric here. I can't really brush on it too much because the pieces are coming. Thank you. And now it's done. Monday, we're going to do the big swap. These will go out and up on the wall, and the DNA and the Toreador will come in, and we'll start treatment on those, hopefully finishing Friday. Day 7, we brought in, as you can see, the DNA. Say that.
Galacid desoxyribonucleic acid.
DNA.
I'm getting a little close to the wall there.
They're missing some of the crossbar. We were planning for an aqueous cleaning, but once we were able to test and reach all the areas, we realized that this painting had not been varnished.
So this is Guy, I would assume him.
I would assume.
You know, so this is with this right here, you can see, also cut it again with that's ammonia sulfate.
And are you getting any color?
So not,
just
no,
the sheen?
no color, just sheen.
Light for a minute.
Let's have to see. That's okay. See, if it was an overall varnish applied to this, you wouldn't have that matte gloss going on.
We thought there was a varnish on, but now we believe it's really what's left from Dali's working on it. You can see some underdrawing here, but when I show you the ultraviolet photograph, you can really see a lot of underdrawing coming up. And you can see where he went in with another color after the spheres were painted. And again, made an adjustment that changed the way that area would look. And it's these areas that were on top that were more sensitive. And you can just picture him walking back and just looking at his palette and just taking something redder. Some of the different gloss is an intentional part of the painting, and to clean it seemed to dull it in a way that evened it out and maybe undid what he wanted to do. So the dry cleaning leaves that. We moved Columbus, sailed back into the galleries gracefully. Good job.
It's a little stressful. It's early in the morning. The paintings are approximately 10 by 13 feet in dimension, and for some reason they seem to get heavier every time we move them.
And Ecumenical Council has now received its frame and is ready to be hung tomorrow morning, so anyone that sees it on Tuesday will see Ecumenical Council back in place. Day 8 in the conservation of the Masterworks at the Dali Museum. Very interesting things have been happening with the hallucinogenic toreador. The hallucinogenic toreador was completed over 15 months by Salvador Dali, and he revisited the painting many, many times, making corrections, redrawing, doing sketches.
You see here, this is all his underdrawing, so you can see how mathematical he was. And just really he planned everything.
There's a whole book about how he created this work.
See all the distortions that are going on, and you just can't see that with regular light.
The first thing we needed to do was to dust the painting. There was so much dust on the surface that you couldn't see the colors of the composition. The dust brushes came off really, really dusty. So the first dusting really made a difference in the painting, and now the wet cleaning is really letting the colors come through. As we were cleaning, we were finding that certain colors were sensitive, but not uniformly. The red would be stable in one area and unstable in another. And as we were working, we realized that the colors he put on later in the process are the colors that were sensitive. So it slowed us down quite a bit to test every single color, every single area, even though initially we tested one red and thought, it's fine, red is fine, but always surprises. So the safe cleaning of this has taken a lot of extra time. We're almost finished today. Ivan's doing the last square right now.
Which way you want us to spin? Clockwise.
Early this morning we framed and put on the wall the Ecumenical Council. It's up there in its frame and looking beautiful. Suddenly the bird that's coming out in the sky is three-dimensional. And before it just was flying quietly in the background. Now it's 3D. So have a look. Day 9. A very busy day. There wasn't a dull moment starting at 9 o'clock when we reframed and rehung Discovery of America. We took it down, we put it face down on some paper, we put the frame on. Not easily.
Just stuck on the fold of the canvas right now.
But it did go on and we hung it back up. It looks great on the walls, so I recommend everybody go see it.
It really looks so much brighter. I've seen it before, and then now seeing it, looking at it, is so cool.
Then we came back into our makeshift studio.
As far as I want to go that way to Durham.
They discovered on the DNA painting that there is some cracking that has occurred from stress. It's not so visible from the front, but with transmitted light.
Those are those 3 bumps.
You can see really serious damage to the canvas. And you can see Geddes is using the light to shine through the canvas, and underneath Kelly is doing the consolidation. So it's a 2-person job. She's using a hot spatula, and that's why Geddes has the plexiglass, so she can work against the plexiglass. So this is something we're going to recommend that they keep an eye on in the future, because these stressed areas are areas of concern for us. The Toreador is going to take a little bit longer. We're hoping to work on him through Friday morning, put the frame on, and around noon, put him up on the wall.
Retouching must be done, and the painting is where it is, so we are where the painting is.
Yeah, and there's also
on our bellies like penguins.
Today is day 10, and as you can see, the DNA painting is packed and ready to go. The wood frame is its travel frame to keep it stable while it moves from our makeshift laboratory into the gallery. They finished treating the edges and making the canvas stronger, doing all the retouching, and as you can see, it looks gorgeous. Over here, we're still getting ready to put a backing on the hallucinogenic Toreador. Dirk is putting the corner braces on, which are replacing the old masonite plates that held the corners together.
The Morses had an injection molding company up in Ohio, and they would literally take the packing cases and use them wherever they could. There are still probably a dozen backing boards made from crates in the collection. The good thing is Rustin's seen it and knows about it, and we're okay with that. Eventually they'll all be replaced with our final materials.
We were able to key it out and get rid of most of the distortion. The keys are the wedges that hold the stretcher in place, as well as expand it gently at the corners and at the crossbars. And these keys came from all over the place. When they made this stretcher, some keys seem to have come with it. Some are made from old paint can stirrers, and we're trying to make it so they don't fall out and so that they'll be effective in keying out the stretcher. And now we're going to put on a backing board to protect the painting from the back. We got handfuls of dust out from between the stretcher and the canvas. This can cause distortions and damage to the painting, so we're trying to not have that happen.
We have a long list of paintings that need attention after this, so little by little we hope to work through and ensure the vitality of these paintings for future generations.
This is day 11, our last day. The final work was mostly bringing the paintings into the studio with a little bit of treating of the Toreador. There was some damage around the perimeter that we had to repair because on the tacking margins there had been some holes and tears, and getting it into its frame and getting it back on the wall.
This past week we worked on Galicid, Dalicid, deoxyribonucleic acid, and also the hallucinogenic Toreador. What you see behind me is being put back in place. It's the completion of this project where several different techniques had to take place in cleaning these works that had been on display for over 30 years since their last cleaning, which was done before they even moved here to St. Petersburg, Florida.
I think things went really well. We had some surprises, but we were prepared for that. Now we're packing up the studio, putting all our tools and our supplies back in the boxes.
We obtained grant and other monies through an interest that has been generated by this conservation exhibition, so people can see that just having a painting doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. You have to take care of it.
Part of the work of a conservator is education. What do you clean them with? We're using a aqueous solution. Well, water and a chelating agent because of the salt. We're using a chelating agent. We want people to understand how to care for paintings, how not to care for paintings, and it's wonderful to have the opportunity to have a public forum where people can hear what we have to say and see what we're doing.
It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful.